hour, 2 hours ago, police telling us officers found 3 people dead inside of a home on Wild Spruce Drive in Springfield.
Let's listen to this live update from Fairfax County Police.
Juveniles and a nanny that live at the home, and they are all safe and all accounted for. Right now, we have not been able to find any signs of forced entry to the home, and our detectives from major crime scene are working diligently to piece together what occurred today, and our victim services section are working with the family members who were affected by this case to work with them. And we will update you as soon as we get additional information. And if you have anything to add to our investigation in the community, you can call us at 703-246-7800. So I'll take questions from anybody has any.
When you say domestic, maybe it could be more than suicide?
You know, we're not ruling out anything. That is one of the possibilities that we're looking into.
Where was the nanny when she heard the gunfire and called 911?
She was in one of the upper levels of the home. The gunshots were heard from the basement.
And how many children were at home? We know the 2-year-old was there. How many children were there at the time?
Yeah, we believe the 2-year-old was the only one in the home, but not in the basement, another part of the building.
Do you know, did the nanny flee the home before calling, or do you know what happened?
Yeah, so we're looking to see what happened in the time that this occurred, and the nanny called 911, so that's part of the investigation.
How old are the other 2 children?
I don't have that for you.
Do you have any prior calls to this home?
So years ago, we're talking several years ago, there were, and we believe they're unrelated, but we are searching back in our database to see if there is anything that would lead some information into what happened here today.
Can you tell us the relation between the 3 adults that were found?
That is part of the investigation that we're going to work to determine and let you all know once we have that.
What about ages or roughly?
Yeah, so the adult male is in his 40s. So we don't have the ID yet. This is just kind of on an eyeball basis. The woman in the 30s and the other male in the 20s.
Is the nanny facing any charges?
No, not at all.
And was the weapon found in that lower level?
There was a handgun found near the bodies on the basement level of the house.
Can you tell us how many gunshot wounds at all that each of them kind of took? Or?
Yeah, there were multiple gunshot wounds to all but one.
And no wounds in the head. There's no indication that this is like a murder-suicide.
So we are investigating and to determine if that is the case or if it's something else. But there were multiple wounds to the upper body, gunshot wounds to the upper body.
You said multiple gunshot wounds to all but one. What did the other?
A single gunshot wound.
And that was a man or a woman?
It was a man.
Was that the 20?
They've been given to another family member. Do you know where they are now?
Yeah, so the nanny is with the children, and there's also other friends of the family that are helping out as well.
Can you say the person?
All right, you've been listening to a press conference
here
here about just a devastating situation. 3 people dead inside a home in Springfield. What we learned from sort of the tail end of part of this is that there was a nanny who heard gunfire in the basement, called 911. There was a 2-year-old also in the home. And we know that there was a male in his 20s, a male in his 40s, and a woman in her 30s who were all found dead. We're going to continue to follow this situation. They're still trying to figure out what happened and even looking at the potential of whether this was a murder-suicide.
Yeah, you heard him mention that they found a handgun next to one of the bodies there. They're looking back at some of those past 911 calls to see if they can glean any information from that. Again, our Katie Lusso is there on the scene as well, asking some of those additional questions. She'll have an update for us tonight at 7 and, of course, at 11 o'clock.
And again, you can continue to follow all the breaking news that we have here. Just download our WUSA 9 app.